At the beginning of the story, we meet Alan and his wife. They are both headed to check out a house with a real estate agent, because they're looking to purchase a home. The real estate agent shows them around the house, and when they go into the bedroom, they look out the window where an old car is parked. The real estate agent says, "When you buy this house, I'll have this car removed." The house is very big, but Alan and his wife want a smaller one, so they are not very interested in it. Whenever the real estate agent notices, he says, "There's something special about this house that I want to show you both." Saying this, he leads them downstairs to the basement, where there is a very deep hole that resembles a tunnel. The agent says, "Come inside with me." He goes inside and Alan follows him. However, his wife doesn't come. Alan comes out once and tells his wife, "Come inside as well." Now, they all go inside the tunnel. Then the real estate agent says, "Close the lid from the top, only then you'll see its magic." Alan's wife closes the door from the top, and both of them are astonished to find themselves in the basement, but now they are on the first floor. Also, when they arrived here, it was evening, but now it's morning. They both can't understand what happened. The real estate agent tells them that the tunnel they went through is a time travel portal, which is why they have arrived 12 hours ahead in time. They entered it yesterday evening, and have come out from here this morning. Alan and his wife have many more questions in their minds, but the real estate agent tells them that many other people are interested in buying this house, and if they want to buy it, they need to make a decision quickly. Saying this, he leaves from there. Alan's wife tells him that they will decide whether they want to buy the house or not once they reach home. They both come in separate cars, and as soon as Alan's wife is about to cross the road, she sees two kids there. After a few days, we see that Alan and his wife have bought the house. Alan also sees a cat there, which he loves very much. Meanwhile, Alan's wife goes down to the basement, and she carefully observing the portal, which is a time travel portal. Both of them are now very happy after buying this house. The next day, Alan invites his boss and his friend over, and they are all sitting in the garden and they were drinking wine. Alan's boss notices the same old car there. The real estate agent still hasn't removed the car from there. He sits inside the car and checks it out, saying that the car is in very good condition, and Alan should get it fixed and use it. But Alan isn't interested in cars. Afterward, his boss comes out of the car and asks Alan about his wife. Alan says she's inside the house. After that, we are shown 12 hours earlier, where Alan's wife is downstairs in the basement, looking at the same tunnel, the same portal. After she enters the portal, 12 hours later, which means the next morning, she exits from the first floor. After that, she sees that Alan, his boss and his boss's friend are standing near the car. She goes to meet them and explains that she was in the washroom. After that, everyone sits down for dinner, where Alan's boss says, "I have a secret, I just had an electronic transplant operation done, which I can connect to with my phone." Alan also wants to share a secret about his house, but his wife stops him because along with time travel, there's another secret about this house. Whoever goes inside the portal will go back 12 hours, with his age reduced by 3 days. This is the reason why Alan and his wife bought this house. Now, Alan's boss leaves with his friend, and after that, Alan's wife takes him near the portal and says, "Let's go inside." Alan replies, "I have to go to the office on time in the morning, so I can't come." He then goes to bed, but Alan's wife goes into the portal. The next morning, before heading to the office, Alan looks up at the portal and tells his wife, "I'm going to the office. After I return, we'll discuss." Upon reaching the office, he goes to his boss's room, where his boss asks him, "What do you think about the electronic transplant operation I had done?" He says, "I have nothing to say about it. I'm not here to judge you for it." On the flip side, we see Alan's wife emerging from the tunnel. After that, she starts looking at her youthful photos because she wants to be young again. Therefore, she puts up a mirror outside the portal so that whenever she comes out of the portal, she can see herself. After placing the mirror, she goes back to the basement once again, and she goes into the tunnel. That night, Alan's boss is shown to us, who tells his friend that perhaps Alan's wife is not happy with my electronic transplant operation because she didn't respond to my question about it. On the flip side, we see Alan's wife coming out of the portal at their house and going to Alan, who has already fallen asleep after returning from the office. She wakes him up and asks, "Do I look younger to you?" Alan says, "You looked the same to me before. I'm afraid because when I came home from the office today, the cat outside the house was reacting very strangely. It felt as if some danger is looming. We should close that portal forever." But Alan's wife firmly refuses, and once again she walks into the same portal, because she wants to become young as soon as possible. The next morning, it is shown that Alan and his boss go for shooting. When Alan's boss fires the gun, he gets a shock and falls down. After that, he comes out and tells Alan, "I will have to go to Japan, because I had the transplant operation done there. Maybe due to the shock of the gun, there is some problem with my transplant." Before leaving, he hands Alan the keys to his house, and he says to Alan, "Give the keys to my friend. If she needs anything, she'll come to my house." Afterward, Alan goes to the house of his boss's friend to hand over the keys. On the other side, Alan's wife is shown. She repeatedly entering and exiting the portal, but there was no change in her expression. Consequently, she begins to doubt the portal. She goes to the kitchen, and she brings back a stale apple and takes it into the same portal. After 12 hours, she comes out, and now it's night time. She goes to Alan, who has fallen asleep after returning from the office. She wakes him up and says, "Look, when I took this apple in, it was stale, but now it's completely fresh. It's mean the portal really works. Don't ever tell anyone about the portal. Both of us can keep going into that portal repeatedly and stay in this world forever. We'll become immortal." But Alan isn't interested in that idea. He says, "I have a lot of work to do." Saying this, he takes the apple from his wife's hand, and as he bits it, and he finds worms inside the apple. Seeing this, he starts worrying a lot about his wife. He fears that maybe Marie's body might also deteriorate from the inside in the same way. The next day, Alan takes his wife to the doctor. He asks some very strange questions. He says to the doctor that there might be worms inside their bodies, but the doctor cannot provide any satisfactory answer to his query. Afterwards, Alan returns home with his wife, but he is very worried about his wife. He feels that perhaps she appears youthful on the outside, but inside, she is aging rapidly. This is because she travels forward in time by 12 hours, meaning she is aging ahead in time. Despite Marie's reassurances, Alan doesn't believe her. She suggests cutting her body to check if there's blood or worms inside. However, Marie wants to become young again so that she can fulfill her dream of becoming a model. Saying this, she once again goes back into the basement through the same portal. Alan receives a call from his boss, who informs him that today is his friend's birthday. He asks Alan to give her a gift on his behalf. In fact, now his transplant operation has been completely successful. And suddenly, there is a short circuit which scares both the doctor and his assistant. On the flip side, Alan goes to the same real estate agent from whom he bought the house. He asks him if repeatedly going through the portal can have any effect on someone's mind. The real estate agent says that if you feel so, you should permanently close that portal. Alan goes to his boss's friend's place from here, but before he can give her the gift, he sees that she is with another guy. Feeling uncomfortable, he returns home. However, now he hardly meets his wife at home, because she mostly stays inside the portal to quickly become young again. And now, Alan decides to permanently close the portal, but just as he is about to do so, his wife stops him because she does not want to close the portal. And now, Alan's boss also returns, and one day while he is driving, the transplant in his body malfunctions, causing a short circuit and his car getting into an accident. Unfortunately, this accident leads to his death. And now, many months have passed. Alan's wife, Marie, is shown. She has now become young due to frequent visits to the portal. She is now 20 years old. She also models, and one day, while a man flirts with her, she doesn't like it at all and she quits modeling. But still, she goes into that portal every day, so that she can become more beautiful and younger. However, as she continues to do so, her mental health deteriorates, which eventually forces Alan to admit his wife to a mental hospital. After that, when Alan comes home, he seals that portal in the tunnel permanently. Alan's wife, Marie, is taken to the hospital, where she attempts to harm herself. When she cuts her hand, instead of blood, worms come out, similar to the way worms came out of the apple. Due to repeatedly using that portal, she became youthful on the outside, but her entire body has decayed from the inside. And now, she can never reverse this condition. This means, her end is certain. In this world, we should never interfere with the creations of nature. We should always accept the aging process that comes with nature. Those who do so are always satisfied and happy. On the other hand, those who refuse to accept the aging process in their lives always remain stressed, with no solution ever in sight. So friends, we hope you enjoyed this story.